Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build a nation together. I want to welcome you to the Hub. Again, another opportunity that you and I have to converse, to dialogue, to talk. I want to encourage those on Facebook to please share the live. Those on YouTube, please do the same thing. Sharing is caring. I want to start off tonight by applauding the Honorable Ron Redhead. Because you see, sometimes people perceive that you are weak, that you are an easy walkover because you're short and because you're young. And there are a lot of people who do not respect the ministers who are pretty young within the government. So they override them, they do as they please. Well, I am very proud of the Honorable Ron Redhead. I want to say to you that today we receive word of the resignation of that person who was in charge of the Queen Show. So that person eventually resigned with immediate effect. And if I am correct, right, that person also served on the board. That person also served on the board of directors, right? So she resigned with immediate effect as a director and the chairperson of the National Carnival Queen Pageant with immediate effect. And I want to thank the Honorable Ron Redhead for his leadership. In fact, this should give we, the NDC supporters, a boost or morale. All is not lost. We should be no more energized. The base should be no more energized than before. We are excited. We are happy. Here you have a minister who is cognizant of the political happenings and also the governance structure. And that is what you want to see in a minister. Sometimes you have to put your feet down and make it very clear that you are the boss. You are in charge. Because you see, what happened was a situation where those NNP surrogates, pundits, they were able to come in from the back door and they assumed significant roles within this whole thing. Well, they're no longer there. They are no longer there, right? So again, I want to commend the Honorable Ron Redhead for standing firm and for taking what we consider to be the high road, the leadership role. He played the leadership role in all of this. So You need to take a bow. The Grenadian people observed, and particularly we, the people, who worked damn hard to get the NDC in power. When we learn of some of those folks who are on podcasts, who are on all kind of programs, going after the government, have all kind of bad things to say about the minister himself. But then they want to pass through the back door and eat a food. Well, that's not going to happen, right? So that's a big one. The Honorable Ron Redhead, you score a big, big, big one there, my brother. You stand firm and don't mind what the Rara will say on her podcast. She's bitter, she's angry because the money can't come in. You understand? She expected to eat her food, but that's over. And we want to see a similar thing happening in the other areas because still we have some pundits and surrogates of the NNP who continue to go after this government, who's working overnight to undermine, to sabotage, to cause this government agenda to fail. That is what they're working on overnight. They're not succeeding so far. But we want to see some action in the other ministries and other departments. You and other statutory bodies, you have to show these people that you are in charge and they need to respect that. Not because they're given a position, it means that they could just exploit it and do what they want and what they feel and rope in and bring in all those NNP goons, zygotes, sycophants, pundits, surrogates. Nah, 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 nah. Because it will serve as a demotivating factor for the NDC support base, for we, the people, right? Yes, you could talk about competence and so on, but when you have known activists of the NNP trying to get positions within the different bodies to eat a food, to live the big life still, we have to crush it. And I want to applaud the Honorable Ron Redhead. You are a hero, my brother, because you're standing firm. You remind me of the Honorable Tevin Andrews. We want to see more of the ministers standing firm, taking the necessary action, because if you sleep on these people, you're going to end up in the ocean on a piece of raft and maybe grabbing at straw, or maybe on a bottle, and that bottle might be bust. So there's no way you're going to survive, right? So I'm saying again, action must be taken in the different areas. And have no fear. I will defend you. Have no fear. I will defend you tooth and nail because you mean well. You want Grenada to move forward. You want Grenada to be transformed. And the people will defend you. The people will stand with you. And you have to take those actions early because you have in different departments where a number of things are taking place. And we would like to see a shakeup in the Ministry of Works, right? The Ministry of Works. We need to see some shakeup there. Something is not right in that particular ministry. There needs to be some shakeup. So I hope our beloved Prime Minister and the most honorable Deacon Mitchell can do that in his ministry because that's his ministry. There is a need for some shakeup there across the board, right? Because this road work supposed to be out long before, the date that was announced. The workers should be out long before, I think it's the Monday the 17th. Come in, Monday, come in. Workers should have already been out. The people should have been, given their contracts and everything already. But this delay, this drag, we need to look into these things because that is how they undermine governments. They do it matriculatively. They don't do everything one lash. They delay stuff. They get their people in key positions and so on. And I'm saying again, there is a need for our people to get the opportunity to be the contractors in this debushing program. The first one, second one, and so on, you didn't get it right totally. Now is the time to get it right. Right? You got to get that thing right now. Make sure our people get the opportunity to be the contractors and let the NNP supporters work under them. Because under the NNP time, it was just NNP as contractors and one or two NDCs to get a little fortnight, one or two, because 90 something percent of the people who were working on the road, they were actually NNP supporters, not NDC. So again, it is important that we level the playing field, that we give our people the opportunity to be the contractors, the checkers, or the supervisors on the road, and make sure that our people get a little fortnight or two. All right? Make sure that happens. And you have to do it in every constituency. We have to stand firm because our people have been locked out from that room, that door of opportunity for 20 something years. We have been pleading, bawling, screaming, crying, but they never listened to us. They never responded. They just continue to do what they were doing. So it is time for us to come to that place where we acknowledge that we have 30,000 or so supporters. And within that group, you have people who want a contract on the road, who want a fortnight on the road, who want material assistance, who have children who should be in those different training programs and so on. You have farmers within that 30,000 who want the land clean. That's important. So we have to focus on that. Look for our people. Let them NNP talk. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, they just start to talk. So them talking for 1 year. We talk, cry, plead, bawl for 23 years and a half. So if they're actually bawling and screaming now, well, they just start. They just start. Because we were actually bawling and screaming for 20 something years. And they never looked at us. They never bothered. So we need to give our people the opportunity at this point in time. Give our people the opportunity within all those constituencies. And that is a call to the members of parliament representing those different constituencies. Look for your people. Look for your supporters. Because ultimately, you could do what you want. If you look for your people, they will be there for you. They're going to go out and vote on election day. They're going to make sure that their children who turn 18 get registered. They're going to participate in all your events and activities. Look for your people. Because when election comes close, of course, polls will be done to see whether or not you could win. And how do you determine that the people will say whether you could win or not? And don't believe that you're indispensable, that you cannot be replaced in your constituency and another person run and win so that NDC could form the government again and then you get a little blight somewhere else. Somewhere. So do not believe that you're untouchable and you know, come the next election, there will be changes. Don't believe that if you don't perform, you're so focused on your ministry and your jacket and tie and so on. You're so focused that you forget the politics. You forget your constituency. You forget your supporters and so on. That when it comes closer to the election, the people say that you can't win. Because when they do polls and they realize you can't win, they're going to get somebody who could win. You understand the point? So it's important that you understand that. Don't believe because you're a minister now that you're going to get an automatic pass to run again in the next 3-4 years. That's not the case. That will never be the case because NDC must be in office for at least 15 to 20 years to really bring real transformation to Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. So the politics must be at play. You have to marry the politics with governance. Very important. You can't have them separate. So the Honorable Ron Redhead, you deserve a medal. You deserve a medal Because when we realize all these people, all those NNP pundits and surrogates were all up in this Queen Show thing and in this Spice Mass thing, we had to act. We had to act. And I think it is not that we say go, but they realize that they had to run, right? So that individual, she resigned as a director and as a as a person responsible for the Queen Show. So bye bye. Have a nice day. We wish you all the best. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. But at the end of it all, I hope the other ministers could stand firm like this and do what is necessary. Because don't believe, come the next election, you're going to be a walk in the park. If you follow the politics carefully, you realize the NNP has not stopped campaigning. They have not stopped campaigning to unseat this government. So they're having training, they're having meetings, they're reorganizing their party, is what they're doing, right? They're communicating with people within the different ministries and so on. Don't fool yourself. I know what's going down. So they've never stopped because they miss what they had. They want it back badly, and they would do anything to get it back. So they're on a, everywhere you turn, you see them, they have meetings here and meetings there. Because why? They're trying to organize their party. And I hope my good friend Larry Barry could take a page from that, because from the convention to this point, we have not seen anything, dramatic, and when I say dramatic, anything big happening within the party structure in terms of organization and getting things going at the grassroots level, at the polling division level, at the constituency level. But we see the NDC working hard to organize the headquarters, the resource center, right? So they're raising funds, they're doing stuff. The most honorable Deacon Mitchell and Miss Andrea St. Bernard, who's a treasurer, they have been working extremely hard with the folks in the diaspora, the New York chapter, the Deacon Mitchell support group, the Canada, the Toronto chapter, the Miami chapter, the United Kingdom chapter. So they have been working hard in raising funds, but that's not enough in terms of party organization. We need to see the different polling divisions organizing their groups, setting up their groups, right? A group of, let's say, 10 people in every polling division with a PRO, a treasurer, a secretary, a chairperson, a women's rep, a youth rep. You need to see that 2 floor members. You need to see that at the polling division level. So if you have 5, 6 polling divisions, you should also have a similar structure like that in every polling division. And then you have a constituency branch, right? You would have a rep for women, the women's arm, a rep for the youth arm, the treasurer, all these different things. You're going to have these positions and they'll be filled. So when you have meetings in the different polling divisions, they would report to the constituency branch, and they need to be meeting regularly and getting results. That's important in every constituency. So we need to see more happening for the party. So the government is performing well. Don't fool yourself. In fact, the government is outperforming. But when it comes to the party, that is where we need more effort to get things going. Because the NNP, it's a party thing they're on. They're not in government. So they're reorganizing. They're having a number of meetings and so on. They're targeting certain constituencies that they know they didn't lose by much in those constituencies. They're still vulnerable. So don't fool yourself. It's a tactical move. So we need to see more political work in the different constituencies happening. We can't wait for the second year, the third year, the fourth year to run like some headless chickens. We need to start now, right? We need to start now. So it's not just government, because That is what they have been focused on. Government, government, government. What's about the party? What's about the different organs of the party? The women's arm, they're strong. What's about the youth arm? What's about the welfare arm of the party? A lot needs to happen, right? But it has to be a grassroots approach. And mind you, I volunteer in my time and effort to help these different constituencies organize and get on their feet again politically for nothing, for 0 cents, just to see the different constituencies organized and functioning effectively. I would volunteer my time freely to get that going once I have the cooperation of these people. Because we need to see that in the different constituencies. We just need to see the politics is missing. You have a convention, you do all kind of hype for the convention, general council convention, and after the convention, you ain't hearing anything much. You ain't seen anything much. Come on. It has to be more than that. There's a need for consistency, not just around the convention. You see, you go and organize groups because you want the vote to become decent, become that on the executive, on the national executive. After that, what are you doing then? Right? What have you done from the rally, from the convention? Well, the failed rally, and the convention that went, into the night. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying, what have you done after, from that point to now? We're in July. What have you done in the many months after? That's important, very important, because there will be a convention again. And will you, just before the convention, run and organize the groups, put your people in place so you're going to be re-elected at the convention again? And then you just not do anything again and then wait for the next period? Look, if these folks don't understand Kim Jones, I have been able single-handedly to remove the old guards who were keeping back the party, who believed at the time that they could run again and win. I have been able to strategize and work overnight to get these people to understand that they couldn't win and we needed new people, fresh people, right, to run in the different constituencies. They put up a little resistance, but I was able to break that wall. And don't believe that I do not have it within me to work overnight to ensure that those who are not working within the different positions be removed come the next convention, because I don't wait until close to the convention. No. I will do it way before. So I'm saying, and that's a warning to those who believe they can just occupy positions on the national executive of the NDC and not do anything and not perform. So we're not seeing any work at the constituency level in terms of the politics, the different polling division groups, right? The constituency branch, the party offices within those constituencies, doing what they have to do, right? That is key. That is critical. Do not underestimate my reach and my ability to transform things. Do not underestimate that. So you need to start, you need to get up from your laurels and start doing work, because the NNP not waiting for you. They're moving forward. They're doing work. They're organizing their party and organizing different constituencies and so on. And they have a lot of people on all kind of podcasts, all kind of radio program and so on, ponging the NDC morning, noon, and night. Right? And then they doing the press conference, they're doing training, they mobilizing resources, for their people and so on. Don't fool yourself. So I am saying, do not underestimate my potential when it comes to getting a reform. Do not underestimate. The last time wrong, it was kind of sudden. But this time, it will be different. And I don't wait until 2 months, 3 months before I started. No. We want to see in the different polling divisions groups set up, functional, having meetings, canvassing the list, registering voters, raising funds at the polling division level. We also want to see the constituency branch make up of these people in the different polling division. So you can get a report from the chairpersons of the different polling divisions as to what they are doing at the polling division level. They should make up the executive or the constituency branch. We need to see a party office in every constituency where you raise funds and you have that office, you pay the rent for that office, and you have a secretary and a receptionist at least in that party office, and a meeting area in every constituency. It could be done, and it must be done, because the party, namely the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and Miss Andrea St. Bernard and a number of the others, they are working very hard to raise the funds for the headquarters, the resource center, and so on. That is great. Excellent. But we need to see more grassroots politics coming from the NDC in terms of organizing in the different constituencies. So, because once you do that, you then will be able to identify your supporters within that polling division. So you don't need somebody at the national level to do that, or at the constituency branch level. The person at the group of people in the polling division, they would know everybody. They would know who they support and what are their needs, and so, that kind of thing. So it makes your work easier as the member of parliament, right? And then your constituency branch, they would know what's going down at that level. It's important, very important, because you see, I know of some people who just like to know that they're in a position, who just like to beat their chest, well, I am this and I am that. And then you ask them, what have you done? You're in that position. What have you done for the last 6 months? What have you done? What have you done differently? What gains have you made? What structures have you put in place? What have you done? And they can't say, but all they can tell you is that they're Mr. This in that position and that position. We want to see something different, right? And folks do not see, like this Lily Alexander saying, well, NNP no longer exists. You're a dreamer. Lily, you're a dreamer. I don't know who you are, but you are a dreamer. You don't understand the politics of Grenada. You don't. Because there are some seats that the NNP lost by, and they are marginal seats. And if you check the history of those seats, they flip from party to party. So you're a dreamer. You don't understand the politics, right? And Grenadians could fool you easily to make you believe that they're on board with you 100%. And remember, between now and the election, you would have people dying who support the NDC and who support the NNP. You would have people migrating who support both parties. You have young people coming up who will be eligible to vote in the next election. And when you're the incumbent, when you're in power, you tend to lose support quite easily, because if the person doesn't get a contract for the road work, they vex. You build a piece of concrete road and you ain't reached by them, they vex. You give away vouchers, they ain't get enough, they vex. Any little thing could cause them to be angry. They apply for a job, they ain't get, they vex. And you can go on and on. That is what happens when you're in power, when you're the incumbent. That is what happens. So you lose support. So you'd have people saying, well, this happened, that happened, and they vex, they blue. They don't want to see this one and they want to see that one. That already start happening in some instances. I know. They speak to me, they call me, they say, oh, look at the situation. So to believe or to say that the NNP no longer exists and they dead and they this. You joking. Something has to be politically wrong with you. Right? There's a lot of work to be done. Do not become complacent. Do not believe that the NNP done. You joking? The NNP has nothing to do really in terms of government, you know. They have ample time to organize the different constituencies. Plenty time. They have plenty time to rope in different people in the different constituencies. Do not underestimate that. And that is why we have to look for our people. And if those NNP talk, they talk, that's their business. Because they would not vote for you. Look for your people. Because your people will vote for you. They will support you. They will come to your events and activities. And if you want to gauge whether or not you at a constituency level has lost popularity, have an event and invite people. And then check the number. Check the people who are coming out. Just do that. Because there are events that some members of parliament have organized and they were poorly attended. And that's a fact. Poorly attended. Did they do enough PR or messaging or outreach to get people? I don't know. But poorly attended. So don't fool yourself to believe that the NNP is gone and they're done and it is. No. Nope. There's some seats that the NDC won by slim margins. Very slim margins. At least 4 or 5 seats. Very slim margins. So you cannot sit back and believe that, you know, because there are some people who talk that silly talk. And normally I would just laugh because they don't understand Grenadian politics. They don't. NDC in 2008 won 11 seats. 11. And then the next election, they lost every single one of them. And people were saying the same thing. Yes, it was different because they were infighting, there were issues, there were a lot of challenges, right? But I am saying to you, do not believe that, you know, they done and that's it. No. So there must be a lot of work in the different constituencies. You need to see the political work being done. You need to see that. And I give you a simple template. Start from the polling division. You have 8 polling divisions. Set up groups in all 8 polling divisions. You need to do that. Set them up. And let them do the work. Let them identify the NDC support. Right? Canvass the list. You need to know your numbers within those different polling divisions. Are you growing the numbers? Are you losing support? You need to know that. And then you have the constituency branch. You have a constituency office and you have a party office within your constituency. So you have one paid by government, one paid by party. So you raise funds and you do what is necessary to get that. It is important. Very, very important. So we hope to see something different on the ground. You know, I hate non-performers. I hate people who just talk, fight for a position, they get the position, and then you don't hear from them thereafter. And when election is close by again, they pop up on the radar and they fight for position again to remain there, just blocking space. And I told you, I single-handedly pulled together those young people and so on to reform the NDC. And some of those hardliners thought that they were not going to be removed. I'm telling you, it was not easy. And it's the same type of reform that is needed within the party. And I am willing to undertake such. Cost it what it may. I am willing because you see, there is too much resting on this government succeeding. Too much people invest their everything on this government succeeding and remaining in power for a long, long time. So we would not allow one person or 2 or 3 to cause that not to happen. Right? So we have to work hard at the constituency level with the politics So the polling division, the constituency branch, the office, and other things like that. Because once we are able to do that, we will be able to identify our supporters and the needs of our supporters and the needs of their community. We will be able to do that. So when you're giving help, it will be targeted. So we know you have a family here, they support NDC, and they have a number of kids to go back to school. So when the back to school voucher comes, they don't have to go in a line. You send it to them. You get it to them. Right? The free textbook distribution and so on, they would know in advance. When the road walk, you're picking up the phone and call them and say, you're going out to work tomorrow, you're the contractor. You're calling them and tell them that. That's important. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. When you're building a piece of concrete road, you involve the people in the area who are unemployed, your supporters. Let them get employed. So they get a little kakada in their hand. That's how you do it. This is small island politics. You have to be down at that level and do it to perfection at that level, right? Because you're getting to know your people. Because NDC supporters is easy to identify. Once you're interacting, once you're mixing and mingling, you know your people and all their concerns and the issues, so you gradually try to address it. That's how it's done. That is how it's done. So when you have a political event, you just pick up your phone and you call, and within no time you have 9, 10 buses, because the people will be more involved. They will be willing to be involved in all your political activities because they're happy, right? They get in the little work and opportunities. So they're willing to go with you to all the different events. But if they're seeing NNP people get in and they ain't getting, then you have problems. Because you're trying to play nice to those NNP supporters. That is what is happening. You have some of those ministers, not all of them, some, who trying to play too nice to please those NNP supporters, and they ain't studying all you. You think they're studying you? And some of them, because they go to church and they this and they that, they have a soft heart, very, very soft heart. So they believe, well, God go take a whip and beat them if they focus on their people and give their people opportunities. But you have to reach to that place where you get that thing done. Make sure your supporters are happy. Make sure I get feedback more than some of those ministers, more than some of those members of parliament and ministers in the different constituencies. I get feedback. I know everything that's happening. Once a person is aggrieved, even if they're happy, they let me know. In every single constituency. So sometimes I talk to some of those ministers, but I know what's happening in their constituency. I'm on the ground. I have a ground game. I know what's going down. So again, I urge you, take stock. Focus on your constituency. Focus on the people who support you within your constituency. Don't abandon them. Set up your groups and try to get things for your constituency outside of government. You should be able. So like, for example, my good partner, Ron, he was able to get some fridge and so on to be placed in those health centers or clinics, medical station for the nurses and so on. That is what you want to see. You should be able to mobilize already bags, pencils, notebooks, stationaries and stuff for kids in your constituency who are going back to school. Because once you have your polling division organized, you will know who is the NDC supporters, and if they have children, how many, the age, the form, the grade, whatever, and you will be able to pack the bags and hand deliver it to them. That's politics. So way in advance, you should have that in train. Because when you go out there, you have to be able to use your influence and your power to get resources, to get bags and get stationaries and so on. 1,000 bags in your constituency, school bags for different ages. This is not hard, no. Or 500 bags for different ages with stationaries and so on. And you put it in there and you give the people. That's politics. Back to school. And then they get in the voucher on that. So from government, they get the back to school voucher. And you giving the stationery, you're giving the bags, and you make a big thing about it. You get the camera people to come and see how much bags you're giving away, how much stationery this and stationery. That's what you have to. That's politics. That is what it is. So you don't, there are some people, they become ministers, and instead of creating friends, they create enemies. Some again, they had friends before they won, and the minute time they win, they get so big, large, and in charge, they forget the people who get them there, who help them financially over the long period of time. Yeah, because I remember saying during the election campaign, right? Well, when the old NDC was there, meaning not in government, so they lost in 2013, and when they lost, none of these people could have go to anybody and ask them for anything, And I asked myself, but wait, how could you be in government as a minister of government and you can't go to no businessman? You can't go to nobody and ask them for $5,000 to do something in your constituency now that you are no longer a minister and your party lost? So you are not building relationships and friendships? I ask myself that on how many occasions, over and over and over, over and over. I ask myself that. Look, I say to myself, how is that possible? How is that possible? You were in government for 4 years and a half. What, you didn't make friends in high places or middle or low, where you can tap into or go to these people and ask them for finance or for some support? You can't call nobody to get a bus, to pay for a bus or nothing, So you have to learn from that experience, from those who are there. You have to be able, after the politics, because if you're a minister of government, you have to build relationships and look out for the people who are looking out for you, who supported you, who help you. So when you need them, because watch me, I say to people, I could pick up the phone now and call a number of people and ask them for certain things, and they will not tell me no. Because I have never forgotten them. I've never abandoned them. I never play ting. Look at me, same Kem Jones. Same Kem Jones. On the radio, on the internet, fighting the fight. Because I want NDC to succeed. I want NDC to remain in power for a long, long, long time. So I'm not fighting for any big work or any work whatsoever. I'm not fighting for nothing like that. There are people who fighting, they want this, they want that position. I want nothing. All I want is for us to be able to get that radio station. I want that radio station because I'm thinking long term. I want the radio station. And that is why the first event is on Thursday, August the 3rd. The first event, Kem Jones Appreciation Event number 1, Carnival Edition. There's the first event. We're starting at 4 p.m. and we're going all the way up to 10. It's a live band. It's a big people thing, not like a children thing. It's a big people thing. So the live band, that's Solid the Band, one of the best live bands in Grenada, or best bands in Grenada. Solid the Band. They will be playing. And one of the best DJs in Grenada, Selector Beast. And then you have local foods, whole pile of local foods. And then you have drinks, all inclusive. So it's not a situation where I could give you a free ticket. Normally I would give, if it's sponsored, then I give. But other than that, I can't give you a free ticket. Because when you come there, you drink. You eat. Because it's a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser. So I want to make a profit out of it to put down there to start off that fund to get the radio station ultimately. Because next year, May, I should be in my own radio station. I should be telling you or speaking to you, celebrating 10 years in radio, in doing this, 10 years, and the second year of the NDC being in power. I should be in my own radio station with staff, with other people working with me, right? But you have to make it happen. And that is why I urge you to buy a ticket. Buy a ticket, right? Buy one of the tickets. Buy. We have some tickets. We have plenty of tickets. Buy. You go online. You can get it online. As we speak now, you can go online and buy that ticket now as we speak. You go on Ride Buy. That's RYDE Buy. That's BUY.com. Ridebuy.com. And you would see Kem Jones Appreciation Carnival Edition, that flyer there. You look under it and you will be able to see where you add it to your cart, you order, and you now for now, within seconds, we are at something is wrong with the internet. I don't think it's just by me, but I will check with the internet provider, because I don't know. Some people are saying, well, it's sticking. Some people are saying, and it's not just by me. I think it's kind of island wide. Even today, I had to refresh, cut off my phone, put it back on, cut off. Something is happening, right? That's important, very important. But at least we're still able to do our program, and some people could say to you that it's all cool. Some again, right? So it's important, folks, that you buy a ticket. And even if you're not coming to the event, even if you're not going to be there, sponsor a ticket or two. Buy a couple tickets, right? And if you tell me, Kem Jones, well, I'll sponsor some tickets and so on, no problem. And folks, you could refresh your system, because I have fiber. My system is perfect, right? In terms of speed and everything like that. All right. So I want to encourage you to refresh your system. Once you're listening to me, refresh it. You can actually refresh it. All right. So I want to urge you to do that, because, for example, I am looking at myself here on my program, and I'm not sticking. There's no sticking on the program from my end. All right. I look at Facebook here. It's not sticking. I look at my stream. It is not sticking. So it could be a problem on your end, but refresh. But there seems to be a problem across the board. All right? Because I have fiber where I am. I have one of the fastest internet service in this area. Me and I think the school and the police station. I don't know if there are other people who were able to get that package. That is why my package is so expensive every month. Right? So again, I'm saying to you, buy a ticket. Buy a couple tickets. If you love what I do and you want to see it succeed and you want to see it grow, I urge you. You don't have to come to the event. If you can't make it, you can't make it. But buy a couple tickets, right? Buy a couple tickets as a form of support, so that we can realize this big dream of a radio station. We need some cash to do it, right? That's so important. And we will get there. So far, 43 tickets sold so far. 43 tickets. We have to get to 150 and beyond. Right? We have to get there. So if you're overseas and you can afford to sponsor a couple tickets or buy a couple tickets, do it. If you're here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and you can buy a couple tickets, you can sponsor a couple tickets, do it. I will appreciate it, because that would determine whether we are successful or not. So again, the event is on Thursday, August the 3rd, right? Thursday, August the 3rd at Wildwoods Park. And my good friend there, Ernesto, is saying, if everybody on the live buy a ticket, or no, everybody on the live should buy a ticket to support the event. All right, so that's what he's saying. But I'm saying that's a live on Facebook. But I'm saying wherever you're listening to me from, the reason why I'm doing these fundraisers is for us to be able to get our own radio station where I can hire people. So I will be doing the same programs morning and night. But before I come on, we're going to have somebody doing the morning shift from 6 to 10, right? So 6 to 8, and 9 to 10, 3 hours. And then you would have somebody taking it from 10 to 1, right? And then somebody from 1 to 4, somebody from 4 to 7, that kind of shift system. So you would have DJs, you would have people working in a professional environment, right? Having somebody managing, having somebody, doing the accounting too. So that is important. Because remember, that is the time we're going to be taking sponsorships and other things like that. So it'll be different. So I'm urging you, support this, because I have been at it volunteering my time and effort. And then by then I will be able to get a salary every month because I have a family to take care of. Right now, for the last 9 years, I've been volunteering my time and effort, freely, with no salary for the last 9 years. And we're going on to 10 years. So when the 10th year, that should be over. I should be getting a salary once I have the radio station, and we will have it. The radio station set up with staff, and it will be one of the best radio stations in Grenada, right? Incorporating technology, so it will be online and on radio. So again, I am saying, I'm urging you, support this venture, support this event, right? Very important. And don't just say, well, I'm going to support you or I'll be there and so on. Buy the tickets. If you buy the tickets early, you help me to plan, to organize. That's important. Buy the tickets. Buy a couple tickets. Speak to friends, colleagues who can buy a couple tickets. It will be nice if you can have 200 people at that venue or 250 people at that venue. And we could do it. Let's make the first event a success, right? So I want to urge you, as I speak now, you can go on ridebuy.com with your credit card, your debit card, and buy the ticket, just like that. Ride, that's RYDE, by BUY.com. And you can purchase the tickets there, or you can call me if you want to send the money, no problem. MoneyGram Western Union, you can send it, and I'll provide you the information if you want to go that route. If you're in Grenada and you want to buy the ticket, I have tickets. And Ricky in St. George's, Ricky's bar by the market there, he has tickets. For example, today, I went to Grandans to bring 2 tickets for my good friend, right? 2 tickets, $600. Very good friend. You understand the point? So once you call me, you say you want a couple tickets, you message me, I will bring it for you. I will get it to you wherever you are in Grenada, because I really want this first event to be successful. A good friend called me today, Kem Jones, well, can't give you $300, but I want to give you $100 towards the event. And, she wants to, because she normally makes coconut buns and them kind of thing. She said, can I do 100 for you? That is what we want to hear, right? A good friend called me again and say, well, Kem Jones, I won't be able to give you the full $300 of the ticket as a sponsor, but I want to give you a $200. You go buy a box of chicken and something else towards that event, right? That is the kind of love that I'm getting. Some friends overseas, Kem Jones, when I spoke about the decoration and the glasses and the cups and those things, within no time, you have friends who organize that to get that done, right? So people, the love is there. The love is there. And I want to encourage you to support this event. And the reason why I'm talking about it over and over is because I really want it to succeed. Because if the first one is successful, then as you move with the other events before, December time, I will do another event around December time. I will do another event before Independence, right? The 50th. I'll do another event there. And between now and May next year, I will do the other events in and between. And you will know about them. But the first event must be a very successful one. All events should be successful, but you need to start on the right footing. So I want to encourage you, if you're listening to me and you follow what I do, please give towards this particular undertaking. And if you make a pledge towards it, I will put it towards it. Believe that. And that's the beautiful thing about me. If you say, Kem, this is for that, that is what it will be. I remember someone sent something, right? A barrel of stuff for the COVID. Remember I was doing hampers and so on. And for whatever reason, we shot something while we were cooking right here at home. And my lady wanted to use something out of the barrel. And I said, no. I said it was sent for that purpose. We're not going to use it. And that's how I function. And people who know me will tell you about Kem Jones. I'm very, very firm where that is concerned. So again, I want to say to you, support this undertaking. You can go on ridebuy.com, buy the ticket. Buy a couple tickets, support the event. Or you can holler at me, speak to me, and I have tickets. Ricky's bar in St. George's, he has tickets there too. So let us support this event. Very, very important indeed. And some of the ministers, right? You too must lead. Order a couple tickets, buy a couple tickets. Because when I'm on this program, who I promote? Who do I promote? Who do I defend? Huh? Think about it. I want to commend Ian Thomas. That's Django. That's Ian Thomas for giving $500 as a sponsorship. And he's a senior person within the NDC for giving $500 towards this venture, this undertaking. He's the first person to give a $500 towards that undertaking, right? So I want to see some of the ministers buy a couple tickets, buy 2 tickets, buy 3 tickets as a form of support. Even if you're coming or not, get people within your constituency to buy a couple tickets to support this activity. And those, I normally promote your events, all your fundraiser. I'm always pushing your fundraiser. Those overseas and those here in Grenada. This is a good opportunity for you to buy a couple tickets as a form of support, as a form of giving back to make sure that this event is successful. Right? And don't say, well, I will support you. I will support you. Anytime a person buy a ticket online, I get to know. I know the person who purchases the ticket online. Anybody who purchases by Ricky, he takes the name of the person so he knows. Anybody purchases from me, same thing. So you can't say go support, and believe that you come and say, well, I support you. And I say, where you support me? You see the point? So it's a good opportunity for you to support this undertaking. Have a wonderful night. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning starting from 8 in the p.m. Take good care and bye for now. We got to wrap it up at this point in time, but please go ahead and buy the ticket. It's important. You can do it as we speak. You can do it after the program and just let me know, hey, Kembo, I buy a ticket and I buy 2 tickets to support you. I might be there or I may not be there. Let me know. You understand the point? Good vibes.
The proceeding was a paid program. The views expressed on this